Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Radash. Double honors unto our apostles, as well as the men that taught our apostles, the elder high priests, as well as the elder bishops and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, this is the brother Abadia from the GMS Houston camp. And it's going to be something quick. I got the idea to do this video from watching the elder Manata Zakbai up in or over in South Carolina. Okay, and the name of the video is called "If We Didn't Have the White Man, We Would Die." Something to that effect. You know, us. She was really. It was a Eve. You know, so-called black woman. You know, she had made a statement. If basically we would die without the so-called white man. I forget exactly how she worded it, and even how the title of the elder video is exactly titled, but that is what was said, is that without the so-called white man we would die. Okay, so this video is going to be in a response or laying back off the elder video, and really pretty much based upon the statement that the young so-called black woman, foolish at that, foolish and doesn't know anything, okay? But the statement she made, so this would be based off of that. I'm gonna title this video, "It's not without the white man we would die, but by the white man we are dying." I don't know if it's gonna be worded exactly like that, but she got it all wrong, okay? It is what it is. For breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, who are the Israelites, were put under curses to this very day. We read about that in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, starting at the 15th verse, okay? And it tells us, let's get that scripture real quick. Scripture that I was about to quote, that we should go to the want of all things. We will go to our enemy for the want of all things. Let me see. Let me type in this. Want of all. See if that'll pull it up. Yep. And I believe the elder brought this verse out, if I'm not mistaken, because I didn't watch his whole video, but I did watch some of it. All right, it says right here, Deuteronomy 28:48, "Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies." Who shall serve their enemies? The Israelites. And the enemies, starting with Esau, the so-called white man, and the other nations over us as well. Or the other nations are enemies as well. Okay? But number one is Esau. It says, "Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things." See, so it says we're going to serve him, right? In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. All right, so that part has happened. That was in hardcore bondage. He put the yoke of irons upon our neck, namely the tribe of Judah. Okay, the so-called Negroes, and we're still serving this man, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. In other words, whatever we need, we will have to go through Esau to get it, or we would have to go to him to get it through the system or the society that he set up. Why? Because he's the ruler, right? With the servants. It's the scripture said right there that we shall serve our enemies. Okay, so we're still serving this devil. I'm about to go into work right now. Okay, but just because we're serving him, and we have to go to him and want and need of all things, doesn't mean that we would die if the so-called white man wasn't, so for lack of better words, taking care of us. Okay, and what proves that is, I mean, look at all the hell this man has put on us in captivity, and he tried to destroy us and minimize our numbers, but you can't. No, we don't die, we multiply. Okay, any other nation would have been put under the conditions that we've been put under, serving hardcore bondage to so-called coming out of bondage or that type of bondage. Okay, these other nations couldn't have dealt with it. Okay, so yeah, we would and it doesn't even matter, that's a hypothetical, if we wasn't under the white man, we would be better. If it wasn't for Esau, the only reason we gotta go to him for want and all and in need of all things is because of our disobedience to Yahweh. Okay? Else we'll be doing okay. Okay? Or we'll be doing well off. Now we wouldn't be doing okay. We'll be doing well. And that's what Deuteronomy 28, starting at the first verse to the 14th verse, tells us. That if we was obedient, then we would be doing great in the earth. But because of our disobedience, you know, we got to go into captivity. To this day, we're still in it. Okay, and we wouldn't be able to be self-sufficient, so to speak, because we're in captivity. We're slaves. All right, and if Esau was out the way, then we'll be doing better. But we're under this man. We're in his hands. All right, the prey departed not, as the scriptures say. So we still being preyed upon by this devil, the so-called white man. Now, he's the reason why we're dying. For her to make a statement, if it wasn't for him, we would die. If it wasn't for the white man, we would die. Well, because of the white man, we're dying. Okay? Because we're under his rule, okay? He's killing us. That's why you have this shitty black culture, because Esau really gave us that culture. Esau pretty much cultivated a nigga. All right, Proverbs, and what is that? 12. Proverbs 12 and I think it's 26. Yep. Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. So we've been under Esau so long, he's indoctrinated us with his bad behavior. Okay? Okay, with his way that he told us was right. That's why you have Jake killing each other. All right. That's why you have us in the worst out of all nations health conditions. Okay. Our families are all in disarray. And then the psychological torment that we receive from this devil. Okay. The plan on our minds. And that's why Jake is bugged out. Esau bugged him out. We're dying under this devil. So it's a real stupid, sottish, same thing, statement that she made, saying that without the white man we would die. You have Jakes that think like that too. Oh, they good. If it wasn't for the white man, we wouldn't have hospitals, and we wouldn't have jobs. Well, those very things are killing us. Hospitals do not cure and heal. They band-aid and really have you strung out on drugs. Okay? They prescribe you pills that have all kind of side effects, and it even tell you that some of the side effects can actually lead to death. Okay, they injecting us with all kind of chemicals. All right, and then they're doing surgeries on people. Some people don't make it out of them surgeries. You see? So hospitals are not serving us no justice, and these jobs are killing us. You run Israelites in the ground, working us to death. All right, working us unfairly, working us hard, paying us little. Yeah, if it wasn't for Esau, we would be better off. Okay, the world is better off without the so-called white man. Okay, and his track record proves it. And I don't know what the hell is. Well, we know what's wrong with Jake. You know, how about Shmuel Shai just bugged him out? You know, because you have to come to that conclusion, because Esau has done enough right in our face for us to clearly see that he's no good for us, that he's destroyed us, he's destroyed the world, and he's steady doing it. So it seems, if you're paying attention, that this man is killing us. By Esau we die. Okay, which leads me to the next verse. I'm gonna bring this out in the book of Habakkuk 2, 4 and 5. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Yes, because he is a man, the man of sin, meaning he's a lawbreaker. He's all about breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, and pushing a society to do so. That's why you have this LGBTQ garb nonsense running rampant in the earth, especially here in Babylon the Great. That's death. Forgot to mention that. That lifestyle leads to death. Eating his GMO, gene spliced food, chemically induced food, kills people, and it's killing people as we speak. Everything about this man is not right. It says, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. This is talking about the one whose soul is lifted up and is not upright in him. That's Esau. That's the so-called white man, woman, and child. The spirit that's in an Edomite is not right. It says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death. Esau, being around him, being up under him, brings about death. It destroys you, kills you. Okay? He's the reason why we're dying. We'll be doing better off without this devil polluting everything and destroying everything, which leads to death. Okay? So just because we under this man and, we have to go to him for the want and need of all things, doesn't mean we'll die without him. No, we'll be doing better without him. Okay? So I'm going to end the video right there. This was just something quick. By Esau we die. Not without Esau we would die. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Until the next one, I say shalom.